Hey guys, and welcome back to Motorsport Madness. Today we are doing another video where we explore yet another driver from Formula 1 history. And I thought to myself, I jumbled around a few drivers to talk about and obviously focus on a particular race to do. So with the Canadian Grand Prix just a few days away at the time of this recording, I thought maybe we should do a Canadian driver. And I thought, well, Nicholas Latifi. Stroll was up there for contention. And I thought maybe Jacques Villeneuve. But no, I had to do a race in tribute to the legendary Gilles Villeneuve. A man that is considered, and probably is, the greatest driver in F1 history to never win a title. He got very close in 1979, where he battled with Jody Scheckter and Alan Jones for the title, missing out only by a handful of points. And unfortunately, we would never see him win the title. He was such a fast and aggressive driver who never gave up. He just constantly went at it, and so many people have said, okay, this man just amazing all the time. Every time he was on the track, he would do something special. Compared very much to the late great Ayrton Senna, Gilles Villeneuve is remembered fondly by fans just all across the world, not just in Canada, and he's even got a circuit named after him, and that's where we're racing this weekend for the Canadian Grand Prix. And like I said just a few moments ago, we never saw him reach his peak, because at 32 years old he sadly died at the Belgian Grand Prix held at Zolder at the time, where he crashed during qualifying in a pretty horrific accident. There is footage available on YouTube. I won't leave a link, I'll leave it up to you to go and watch it yourself. It's a pretty horrendous scene, but it happens so quickly, and unfortunately he did not survive the injuries he sustained in that horrific accident. It really was pretty horrible to witness. Obviously I wasn't around at the time, I've only seen it on YouTube, so but if you go and watch it, that's fine. If you don't, then understandable. Now on to the premise of this video. We are at the circuit which has hit the headlines recently. It's Kylami in South Africa, a circuit which in the news lately everyone's been talking with the I think it's the track owners or organisers or whatever, to make a return to Kyalami next year, 2023, and I'm all for that. Kyalami, I think, is a great track. It really is. It's challenging. It's not that fast, but it's challenging, and I'm sure there'll be overtaking opportunities. Now, I've raced the 1997 F1 cars around here from VRC, and that was great fun. Really enjoyed that. But we're not at that version of the track. We are at the 1967 version of the track, which I'll obviously leave in the description, a link to. And this track, half of it is gone now. It's all replaced by housing. The other half is still existing on this the modern day version. And it was here in 1979 where Gilles Villeneuve won his second race of his 1979 season, starting third on the grid, as we are now for this video, battled through the grid to eventually win. And like I said, he did not win the championship. He missed out just by a handful of points. And yes, and Jody Scheckter, who's also South African, won the championship in the end. So we're gonna kind of try and recreate this race. And no, me, I'll probably crash and do some weird stuff. But yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. I've done practice. This is a really fun track, fast as well, and it has seen its fair share of accidents over the years. But today, let's hope that's not going to happen, and we just have a good, fun race for you all there to enjoy. I have taken a little bit of a break from YouTube for a bit to focus on stuff around my flat, so I do apologise for that. But slowly but surely, I will be getting up to a more regular pace And I've got plenty of video ideas as well that I don't know what to do. So I sit here and I'm like, which one do I do? I'll sit here for hours and then never get anything done. Anyway, I think I've talked too much for now. I think let's pay tribute to Gilles Villeneuve in the best way that we can by recreating the 1979 South African Grand Prix, driving as Villeneuve himself. So, let's get into this. Alright then, almost ready to start this race, and immediately everyone revs their engines as we're about to go lights up Kylami. And here we go. We're in the RSS 79 V8 cars. These are brilliant cars, not that fast, but they get the job done as we are already up to, well, but I decided to not be aggressive and go for the overtakes. I know exactly what would happen. Now through here, you can go without braking. I think there's only 2 or 3 braking points with this car on this track. Here isn't one of them. Go full throttle through here. Well, we can't, but you can lift off and not touch the brakes at all. Here you have to brake up. And you've got to be so careful with this car. This is the first generation of ground effect cars. So this is quite hard to control sometimes. As we come up to the final corners, it's not a very long track this, but it's challenging, especially this corner. I can never seem to get it right. We've got a car behind me, 2 of them actually. I think it's Patrick Kylami. He's got a car on my inside, blocking him off as we come around the kink and over the top of this hill, which is quite a dangerous. If you know the history around Kylami, you know exactly what happened there, and that will be covered in my upcoming documentary. Right, heavy braking point. We kind of lost the other 2 of Roy. Got someone on my right, don't know who it is, I can't see him, but we're going to keep going anyway. I've got a whole queue of cars behind me. So there's Carlos Reutemann in the lead at the moment. As we make our way, we've got 15 laps by the way. Obviously got 14 left because we've already completed 1. I can hear them, but I can't see them. Again, my car wants to just slide away. This is the RSS version. Right. So I'll leave a link to this track and this car as always. The car is Reutemann crossing the line on 110.4. Now in practice I wasn't even getting close to that, I was getting 1 minute 13s. Which I hope. Right, it's not showing up there. But I'm hearing cars all around me. I think that's the 2 Ligiers. I struggle to say that. Right. Oh, this car can be quite something to handle. Like I said, it's not very fast. I think can only go up to about 160, maybe 170. So to compare the cars, the generation cars before this, which could reach over 200, well, not over, but nearly 200. It's quite a downgrade, but it can get through corners so much quicker thanks to the aerodynamic design of this generation of cars. So the likes of the 60s cars, yes, faster, but not very aerodynamic. But these cars vary, and they can get through these corners so much quicker than anything else seen before it. And such a turning point in Formula 1 history as well. This fixed to fire still trying to take nibbles out of me. Still keeping good times. I'll say that. I think they're going to be aggressive and try for the overtake. He does. Got 1 right behind me. Oh, okay. And nearly lost it. Just pure to the fear of those 2 Ligiers. One of them is Jacques Lafitte, another legendary driver of F1 who you know, never really met the success that it was really hyped up to be. A really good driver, but you know, if he was in anything else like a Ferrari or McLaren or anything, or Lotus even, probably would have won a couple of championships, I think. We've got Mario Andretti behind me, another legend of Formula 1. And it's worth mentioning Gilles Villeneuve drove for Ferrari as well, so he's considered a Ferrari legend, and he is. Okay, we're slowly, so far I feel like my pace is okay, but keep slipping up very, you know, very small mistakes, but it's costing me everything. As these two Lotuses are just pounding me at the moment. Please, no, leave me alone. Just want a fun race. Oh, okay, alright. See, the problem is, at the moment, I'm having to turn down my... Ooh, you want to sit off the curbs here, because they're really just full-on buckaroo, they just want to throw you away. But like I was saying, I have to turn down the headset volume, so just to avoid any sort of echo that you might hear. I can hear it, but hopefully you can't. But again, I can't tell until I'm editing. I mean, it's not too bad, but yeah. So because of that, I'm gonna have to listen out quite closely for cars behind me. So I'm having to really keep an eye on my mirrors. Also, I hope you guys enjoyed the latest trailer for the historic F1 series. Again, that took about a week to make, and it's mostly just composed of me just driving around in the Alfa Romeo 158. I'm just taking clips off the that because it would have taken a lot longer to make if I just done all the races and then taken from that. Because I wanted to get a trailer out, because this is the month that it's going to be starting as Andre gets past me. Don't blame him. And who's this? Oh, and I lost it right at the wrong moment. I've got everyone going past me, but luckily, he survived. If you want to know what that thing is, I've got a cup of tea on my desk, and it's yeah, just battling on there. So don't worry about that. Okay, so made a bit of an error there, but we might be able to get this Tyrrell. I feel like I can. I don't think we're doing Mr. Villeneuve any justice here, because we're not leading this race. Oh well. But like I was saying, yes, July 3rd is when the season 1 of the historic F1 series will begin, and honestly, I cannot wait. Driving and doing races in those cars is a lot of fun. It really does take me back, especially the tracks that I've downloaded and will be using. They're just fantastic. As we get a bit of slipstream here, you can hear the engine just crying for mercy. I have to brake anyway, but oh well. But I think we can catch up to this Tyrrell, but we have got what looks to be a McLaren behind me. It could be, yeah, I think one of them is James Hunt, who today actually is 29 years ago today. He passed away due to a heart attack. Now, I was thinking about doing a video on him, but it would have been a bit short notice for me to really come up with an idea, because there's so many great moments with James Hunt, and this video was planned quite a little while ago. But there will be a video on him, and of course Niki Lauda at some point. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, the historic F1 series, there's going to be, I still need to finalise what seasons we're doing. There's certainly going to be at least 3 from each decade, or maybe 4. Obviously not going to be every year. I'm going to just block James there, and he's backed off. Wise move, my friend. Nearly lost it again there. But luckily I don't lose position, but that Tyrrell was getting away from me. Anyway, like I said, yes, there's definitely going to be plenty of seasons of our historic F1 series for everyone to enjoy, depending, you know, no matter what era of F1 that you enjoy. And of course, I'll still be doing my regular content alongside that. I want to try my best to mix up my content a bit more in terms of what kind of category we do, so endurance, sports cars, rallying, that kind of thing. And even oddities. I've got plenty of ideas what to do with just old cars here and there. Including the back of the build. That build titled before, anyone? Alright, who's this coming up? I think it's a Wolf. Oh yes, of course, at this time he was driving, James Hunt was driving for Wolf. And that is him. He retired in 1979, if you didn't know. Oh, okay, thank you. I'm really doing badly here. But I think this AI is, the difficulty setting for these ones are a little bit lower than the ones at the front. So hopefully I can keep up with them and they can overtake and manoeuvre on the straight somewhere. But, ooh, okay. But, doesn't look like it's going. Come on, Jack, come on. Now Jack with 110.4, so it's not looking and still going wrong. I'm gonna get black flag in there just for. Oh, nearly went again. This car is very difficult to drive sometimes, especially in a race situation where, you know, you want to put the power down, catch up to whoever's in front of you. Currently 12th, he's starting 3rd. I'm embarrassed. I've let Gilles down, I really have. Maybe, you know, one day I'll do probably another one. But for now, this is all I've got. But this car is scary. And this season will be, I can, oh, for God's sake. Who is this? I think it's Patrick Tabby. But, yes, I can confirm why am I breaking here? I don't need to. The 1979 season will be included in the historic F1 series. And obviously it's going to take a little while to get to that point. But like I said, we've got something for everyone. Whether you're, you know, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. That's what I want from this channel. I want there to be something for everyone. Well, that's primarily F1, but you got to understand, guys, my main interest is F1, especially historic F1. I thought there was something on my inside there. Obviously, the Villeneuve legacy carried on with his son Jacques Villeneuve, who won the 1997 F1 title, and also his brother also raced in Formula 1. Can't remember who for. I don't know too much about him. I forgot to take the car. So I'm sure there's going to be a tribute to him at some point this weekend, and well, hopefully there will be. Because I will admit, I don't know a whole lot, too much about Gilles Villeneuve. He's not really up there for me, in terms of my personal favourite drivers. But I respect him. I know what of his capabilities, and that kind of thing. But like, don't think for one second I hate him. I don't like him as a driver. I do. But yeah, it's just not really, you know, for me really. I don't know. It's weird, but still, I respect him, and yeah, I wish he had gone on. He's only 32 when he died. Who's this? This is oh, they're only racing, okay. It's slightly faster than me. How is this thing? Aha! Nice, man. Right. See, I think you don't want my inside. How'd you go through that so quick? Oh god, okay, get off. Oh, I can catch up to you, I feel like. Whoever you are, John. probably somewhat really obvious, and I'm just screaming at me in the comments. Also, did you guys enjoy Le Mans? I certainly did. It's the first time I've actually sat down and watched it. I didn't watch the whole 24 hours. But I watched the start, I left it on for a couple of hours, and then went off, did something else, and then watched it just before I go to bed. Well, went to bed. And, you know, watched a bit of night racing. And it's just such a weird experience, just going to bed and then waking up the next morning and the race is still happening. It's only when you're, like, I don't know, about 4 or 5 hours in, and you just realise how long, you really do appreciate how long this race goes on for. It's just ridiculous really, but, you know, yeah, but it's still a thing. Okay, we've got Jochen Mass just going for it behind me. Just overtaken, I'm not sure, but, jeez. Be careful of everything in this car. Steering, oh, we make contact and I've lost it again. Luckily, we're not last yet. But we've got one of my favourite drivers behind me, Emerson Fittipaldi. Hello, hope to see you at Goodwood this year. I know Hans Struck is, well, Hans, I forgot his second name. I think it's Joachim, Hans Joachim Stuck. He's going to be at Goodwood this year, and that makes me think that the Auto Union Type C is going to be there, because their main theme is innovations in motorsport, and the Auto Union Type C was definitely, for God's sake, a revolutionary car, to say the least. Come on, man. Don't lower me down like this. I'm going to get you back. Look at those glowing exhaust pipes. Right, we've actually made an overtake in this video. But he's probably going to take me on the inside. I'm going to spin out as usual. We're about to be lapped, I think. Oh, no. There we go. Go away, Anderson, please. Just leave me alone. Not here. Not now. It's been somewhat of a disappointing race. I'm sorry, Gilles, or any fans of Gilles Villeneuve. I know this hasn't been the best tribute to him. I was hoping I'll probably emulate his win and, well, win. But that hasn't happened. As this is the final lap now. I know, it's second to last lap. I'm so far behind. Stop doing that, please. But look at the state of my front right there. It's just awful. Take this gently. And again, I'll still take it gently. It still just goes wrong. And I'll take it again. I think it's by hand strip as well. How dare you? When I see you at Goodwood in next week, I'll have a word with you. Oh wait, maybe not. Nah, you're forgiven. This era of Formula 1 is great, isn't it? These cars just sound so good. And when I saw a car from this era, I think it was one of the Wolves at Brands Hatch a couple of weeks ago, it sounded exactly like this. And you know, give credit to RS Test, they did such a good job at representing this era with this car. It's pretty bright, it's just called the Formula 79 V8, so it's not like Ferrari and McLaren, it's just a representation as Hamster gets past. I don't even need to look, I just need to hear. Can we take him inside? No, as soon as I get power down, just take him out. Oh dear. So, this really hasn't gone to plan. But I hope you enjoyed anyway. It has been a fun race regardless. Come on. See, I'm getting somewhat frustrated. this won't behave itself. The McLaren, I think, behind us. We're about to cross the line in 18th. Hooray! Ah dear, I'm sorry everyone. And that was it. So Carlos Reutemann won, and Mario Andretti finished second. He actually made up quite a few places. Patrick Depailler there, and Jacques Lafitte, and Jean-Pierre, I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry. And Carlos Reutemann making up the last points, finishing position. I mean, that was fun. I enjoyed that, and I hope you did too. And again, let's just remember that name, Gilles Villeneuve, and he is a driver that won't ever be forgotten, I hope. A driver that was just taken far too early into such tragic circumstances as well. In an era of Formula 1 which was getting faster but was getting safer. And just like the late great Murray Walker once said, you can make motorsport safer, but you can never make it safe. Let's be grateful that we do have a lot safer cars in Formula 1 nowadays. And yeah, but again, salute Gilles, and let's hope we have a good race at Kyalami this weekend, because we normally do. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are too. So anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and you know, it's good to be back after a break of a few days. And yeah, like I said, got plenty of videos on the pipeline. Just need to, well, do them. So, like I said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and a comment, and obviously subscribe if you want to. If you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. I'm not bothered either way. I just want you to enjoy these videos. So, until the next time, don't know when it will be. Probably a couple of days. But until then, I'll see you in the next one.